Hey folks, it's me again, and we are back with another collaboration project from the Sim streamers and YouTubers Facebook group that I'm a part of, and this is a really great group to join if you are wanting to start up your own YouTube channel or become a Sim streamer. They give lots of great advice, and there's a lot of people in there that you can ask sort of tips and tricks from, and they do lots of these kind of like build collaborations, and they also do CAS collaborations. So this is one of them. This is the one for the month of July, and it is a beach house collaboration. There are a couple of rules that go with this one, in that it has to be a stilted foundation home, and it also has to have the off-the-grid lot trait. So I've gone for like a kind of vacation-y home style beach home. So what I've decided to do this time is not something that I usually work to, but I've actually chosen a colour palette off Pinterest and worked around that colour palette, because it's not something that I've done before, but I thought it might be quite interesting to try and work to a certain theme. So I just literally searched in Pinterest beach colour palette, and that's what I came up with. So there's like a light sort of pale purple, and then there's blues, and then there's greens. So the outside of the home I have dedicated to the blues, so you've got like the kind of light blue and the dark blues and like the transitioning colour in between, and then on the inside I've gone for the greens on the end, because obviously I've not got that much space, so I kind of had to work with the space that I had. But I found this quite interesting actually, because one thing I always forget about is the filter system in The Sims. So I filtered by like greens and blues and purples and stuff to see if I could try and find the colours that I actually wanted from the colour palette, and I found this quite interesting. Like, there was a lot of like kind of things that I didn't know existed, because maybe I hadn't sort of gone through the swatches or something like that. So it's I think this is going to be quite a fun thing to do from now on in my builds, because I'm sick of using the same colours over and over again for my builds. They always have, all my houses are all the same colour, they always have the same interiors. So from now on, what I'm going to try and do is find a colour palette on Pinterest and sort of work around that colour palette, and hopefully some of my houses might look different as well. They might like kind of have their own personalities rather than just being sort of generic cookie cutter homes. That was supposed to be. And so yeah, so I've talk about the build now, Emma. the actual beach hut is purely for one sim. There's not much space in there at all. There is a double bed in there, but I just don't feel like you would have enough room for two sims. It is like a vacation home basically, like it's obviously off the grid, so I kind of imagine that the sim who owns this home is perhaps maybe somebody who works in an office, has to deal with a lot of technology, maybe takes a lot of phone calls, just kind of needs somewhere that they can get away completely from everybody and just kind of have like a relaxing weekend or whatever. So I've given them all the basic things that they need. I've just realised that I haven't put a toilet in, but I guess they can use a pee bush, so I'll put a pee bush in before I upload it to the gallery. But basically it does have everything that a single sim would need. So it's got little countertops, it doesn't have a fridge because none of the fridges work off the grid, so I have put a cooler outside on the edge of the pier. There is a fishing spot that I've put in there, and also I've put one of the fire pits in the garden so they can actually grill the fish. I've also given them a couple of planters so that they can kind of grow their own food. This sink is the only sink that works off the grid, so I have set it into the counter and hopefully that still works, but I haven't play tested this, but hopefully fingers crossed that it will work. I'm sure it will, but I haven't tested it, so we'll see. So basically I just wanted it to be kind of really light and airy. Obviously we can't use any lights because it's off the grid, so we've had to go for candles. So in the way that I've kind of dealt with that is by putting these big windows in. That rug is a prime example of not knowing it existed until I used the filter system and found that because it was part of the colour scheme that I'd picked, and I absolutely loved that rug and I'm definitely going to be using it more now. So I definitely recommend that when you're building next time, choose a colour and filter by that colour, because you'll find items that you didn't know existed. So anyway, back to the build. I have kind of tried to make it a bit of an eco build, so there's like the washing sort of area there. Obviously they do like kind of fishing. They're obviously going to be planting their own vegetables, and there's that big pier where they can go swimming. Maybe this is a mermaid that lives here, I don't know. It'd be fun to see what kind of person that you actually sort of get to own this house, whether they own it or whether they do use it as a vacation spot. I don't know, I think it's a very versatile lot, but like I say, it is very small, so not too many Sims could live there, probably, like I say, just one Sim. So yeah, so I've just kind of gone for very sort of simple living. I didn't want it to be too overcrowded. I didn't want to put like too many plants in there, because imagine that this person isn't going to be there all the time. They're not going to want to have too many plants because they're not going to be looking after them while they're not there. So imagine, I don't know, let's imagine that the person only comes here in the winter or something, that maybe they live in somewhere like Brindleton Bay where it rains and snows, so they come here for the winter and it's nice and sunny and it's got everything that they need just in there to kind of be getting on with it, and then at the end of the winter they shut it back up and they go back home for the summer. So yeah, so it's a very relaxing, I don't know, I'd definitely like to come here and definitely like to relax in this place. So that's the little fire pit there, so they can obviously grill the fish that they need, and we're going to be coming up to the screenshots very soon, so I'm going to leave it here, and I really hope that you enjoyed this build, and I hope you enjoyed the colour palette that I used as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.